What's up, Skate Rats? It's Skate Dad, and today I'll be reviewing the Polar Bear trucks made by Bear Trucks, which is part of Land Yachts. And I really like these trucks. The reason I'm doing a review is I noticed there's almost no reviews of these on YouTube, and there are some other reviews and I did not agree with them, so I'm like, I need to throw my hat in the ring and talk about how much I like these trucks. So, as you can see, I like them. I've been skating them since October. And I think they're great. Honestly, if you're skating a larger skateboard, I'm skating a 9-inch. These are the 155mm trucks, the Polar Bears, in all black, because I'm that stylish. And I think they're really good. If you're skating a 9-inch board, these trucks I think are more geared towards transition skaters and cruisers. So if you're gonna go skate a lot of pools, mini ramp, cruise around, these trucks are for you, and I'll get into why they're great. What I like about them is I find that they have an excellent turn. I love the way they turn, and I think they skate really well, both tight and loose. I've ridden them very loose and I really liked it. Sometimes I've wanted to get more technical on a mini ramp and I've tightened them up, and I felt they were great. And I've noticed is once I lock it into a certain setting, I don't need to adjust. I feel like I tighten or loosen these trucks one time and they stay there. They're not a truck you have to keep coming back to and fidgeting with, which I like. They have hollow kingpins to reduce some weight. The height and weight is about the same as an independent or a venture. You can see the stats right up there. Ooh, it's 55mm tall, and I think that's exactly the same as a venture high or a standard independent. So they're on the higher end, and mine are super high because I have them on gigantic risers. So if you skate big wheels like 58mm like me, you're not gonna get that bad wheel bite, which is nice. They're fun trucks to ride, and they're very stable. The first thing you'll notice when you ride on them, it's a very stable truck. They don't get wonky or stuck one direction like in other trucks. They're very stable, and they feel great to skate, and they're fun to skate. I think because they're made by a longboard company, it just gives it a cruisier feel. I think the geometry of these trucks is slightly different than a normal truck, and from my understanding of reading on the internet, the bushings on these trucks are slightly larger than other standard size skateboard trucks. So on some other reviews, I noticed that they had switched out the bushings to the non-standard bushings that come with the truck, and I think that's why the people I saw skating them didn't like them, because they weren't using the bushings that came with the truck. The bushings for this truck are really good and work awesome, and I believe they're larger, so stick with these bushings, they're really good. And if you're putting in a standard size skate bushing, I think it's throwing off the geometry of the truck, and that's why you're having a bad time. So use the standard bushings, they're really good, or maybe like reach out to Land Yachts if you need harder or softer ones, but I like them, and I felt like they didn't take any time to break in. These bushings were good to go like that. I have some Aces, and those bushings like are taking forever to break in, so these bushings are very nice. The Kingpin Clearance is excellent. I really like that for Smith and Feeble grinds and anything where you're getting up on the angle. It has huge Kingpin Clearance. I haven't seen many other trucks with this much Kingpin Clearance, so that's 2 thumbs up. The only real damage I've done to these trucks and skating them hard since October is I've beaten up the washer underneath the Kingpin, and that's kind of getting bent. So the only thing I would tell Land Yachts is to maybe make the washer a little thicker and maybe bend it around the bushing so it doesn't get so beat up when you're doing Feebles and Smiths like that. Because I remember Ventures had a nice thick washer on the top that wouldn't get totally destroyed like these ones are getting. Alright, one more thing I like about these trucks is that you have 2 sets of bore holes on the truck, which means I could take this and move it closer to reduce the wheelbase and give myself a larger nose, and do the same here and give myself a larger tail, or I can push it forward and give a smaller tail, which is really cool if you really want to dial in how big and small you want your wheelbase. And I know the other advantage of this is some old skateboards like from the 80s, they use a different sized bore holes, so you'll be able to use those older boards, which I think is super cool. And I'm just a big fan of a truck that will let you really dial in just how you want it, because I know some of us are dorks, and we want to fiddle with everything. So kudos to them for adding on, giving you some options. Another thing is I skate these a lot, and they really have not gotten that beat up. Like, I do a ton of switch crooks and there's almost no damage on them. You can see I'm getting a little bit of 50-50 marks, but really not that much when I consider how much I have skated these and how much I grind. So they seem to be on the harder, stronger metal side, which is awesome. Also, I just generally like how these trucks look. I like the black on black look. And I like where they chose to reduce weight. I think it looks really cool how they did this cutout with the logo. And people always ask me, like, well, what trucks are those? And I was like, they're polar bear trucks. They're super dope. Because people don't skate them a lot. And I think they're dope. I could really see these becoming a competitor to the other, like, transition skating trucks, like Indy or Aces. Especially on people who like to skate the big boards. They are awesome. I've skated some street with them, and I'd say they're fine. They're on the heavier side, so that might be an issue. Since they are 155 millimeters, which I think is about 9 inches, I haven't done really any flip trips on this board, so I can't really judge them for that. I've really only done transition skating and very limited kind of ledge skating on these, and they've been really good. But if you're Mr. Flip Trick guy, they may not be for you. If you're a more technical skater, I think you're probably going to be a lot happier with like a set of Ventures, honestly. Oh, one more thing is the way they designed the hanger is really great because it doesn't stick out a lot, so you don't get hung up, which is really, really crucial because I know the old Indies used to stick out so much and it would get hung up all the time on coping, and that drove me crazy. So I really always look for in a truck is how much that this part of the hanger sticks out, because I do not like getting hang-ups. That's my least favorite thing in the world, is to get thrown off my skateboard on a hang-up. So that I like. So generally, I would say they're great trucks. If you're looking for some trucks for a 9-inch board and you're a cruiser guy, you want to do slappies and you want to skate transition, half pipes, bowls, these are for you. They are great trucks. If you're an Ace Indie guy, I think you're going to like them. They're good trucks, so get yourself a pair or don't. All that matters is go out and skate your hardest.